not get the exposure because they are busy with their family, and especially in rural areas, they don't get a chance to hone their skills. I try and do what I can to help people, especially in the rural area, especially women. And the only goal that I have is that every woman should have a house of its own, so that he doesn't have to ask for his husband or his father or his brother. So that is all I want, that all women should have their own home without anyone else's money. That's all I think we should do.
The moment she's burst onto Bollywood, and to the time that she has owned it, clever Deepika, I saw that. To the time where she's owned it, she has metamorphosed from a beautiful face to a powerful voice. And I think it's clear that Vouge has been in love with her through the entire process. For me, she perfectly embodies and exemplifies what Homie's film is trying to convey. An empowered woman is one who makes her choices, and I think, Deepika, you've made all the right ones. My question to you is, what does freedom of choice mean to you as a woman?
Hi everyone, good evening. I think to put it very, very simply, and I was saying this earlier, someone was asking me, I think it very simply boils down to being the person that you want to be, you know. I think I grew up in a family where there's me and a sister and my mum, and my father's the only male person in the house. And all of us have a voice, you know. If we had an opinion, we were allowed to share. You know, my parents never said, oh, you have to, or my father never said, oh, you know, you have to do this and you have to do that. So I think stemming from that, I've always as a child been allowed to voice my opinion or to just be the person that I want to be. And I think that's when I, at least personally, feel truly empowered. When you're not caged, you know, when you don't succumb to expectation. You know, when you speak your mind, or you do the things that you want to do, and you do the things that make you happy.
Yeah, thank you. And now for the man of the moment. Homie, wait.
No, I'm sitting. I'm not going to stand. It's my choice. Thank you.
For a man who's moved seamlessly, and I must say this successfully, from art house cinema to commercial blockbusters.
Sorry, go ahead.
With his trademark crazy, cool, and candor, Homie does know what it's like to live life on his own terms, so I'm not at all surprised that the title of this movie is My Choice. Homie, my question for you is, tell us a little bit about your creative journey behind this film. Elaborate on where did it go from the idea to fruition? What were the unique challenges in conveying a singular thought through 99 women?
See, firstly, this film wasn't my choice. I read about it being that I had to make it because Deepika had given the pledge saying, I will do an initiative where Homie will have to direct it. But we...
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
Fooled you guys.
Oh, it was a whole thing.
They said I have to do the film because you were directing it.
I can't believe this.
And you know how I always go with your vision and...
Yeah. No, but it was a creative collaboration between Deepika and me, and one thing we were very clear was we didn't want to make a fictional story in 2 minutes. We wanted to use real women, empowered women, and we wanted to be very organic. Kelsey Khambata, who's written the words, I think they're extremely powerful words, so we were just ideating, and then finally he came back with what he had written. We both discussed it, we tweaked it ever so slightly, but then we called in the 99 women, and we didn't tell them what they were doing, and they were extremely sporting about it, and they just all landed up. And once they were in front of the camera, I told them, you can do whatever you want, but this is the line that's going to come on your When we see you, this is what the line is going to be. So process that and express yourself how you want. And I found when initially, if you're not an actor, you feel a bit shy about being in front of the camera. But I told them, if you don't want to do anything, don't do anything. And when you tell someone that, they do everything. So I was like, okay, we just want you for 3 minutes each. Now you can go. Sure, little more, little more. So so it worked out very well. I think it's like I said, it's a beautiful piece, and we were very conscious of not letting the visuals take away from it, from the words. And I think this whole thing of moving black and white portraits was what we wanted to do to just enhance and lift what was written. So I can keep talking, so I think I stop now.
Fair enough, homie. You could stop. My one question to all three of you all is, what is the single most defining factor, Deepika?
Sorry.
Or
I had a question for Homie. Why 99 women? And in my head, it's like, so I was just cross-checking if it's like 99 women and the 100 is like all of us, like one woman, no?
See, it was...
Something like
okay, let me tell you the truth. It was 100 women. But I liked the idea of putting 99 in, and then they said, why not 100? And I said, because God said she was busy.
According to the three of you, and this is in any order, you've experienced this journey. What, according to you, is the single most defining attribute in identifying an empowered woman? Homie, you want to start first?
I think what Deepika said earlier, just a woman who lives on her... I mean, it's a woman who lives on her own terms and is brave enough in a world which is unfortunately not equal, which is unfortunately extremely regressive. I mean, it's sad that today we have to sit here and talk about gender equality in 2015. It's like a joke, but we do. So, I mean, any woman who breaks all that and really doesn't give a shit about that and still lives on her own terms, like Deepika, like Sangeeta, and definitely like my over-empowered wife. I think that's the sign of it. So, yeah.
Sangeeta, what about you? What do you think is the most defining attribute for a woman in being empowered?
Feel free to like answer for us and share your thoughts.
No, really don't. There are television cameras and crews behind. Really don't feel that free. Maybe after the evening is over.
No. In fact, Adna is just being very empowered with the champagne right now.
Adna, we apologize.
I've forgotten again the question.
My question to you was, Sangeeta.
No. She's not asking a question.
Sangeeta, it was,
Better job.
what do you feel? I'm going to ask it to all of you all that. What do you feel is the single most important attribute in a woman being able to say, I'm empowered? Homie says it's her choice to live life on her own terms. Do you feel it's financial independence? It's, like you said, having a home, a roof above your head. What do you feel is?
Firstly, the financial independence is very, very important. But I think a woman has their own guts. If a woman decides that she wants to do something, a woman does it, in spite of odds. So I think a woman has the intrinsic nature to do exactly what your heart tells you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Deepika?
I think it would be again more or less similar to what I said earlier, where I think to be the person that you want to be. And I truly believe that you can only achieve that when you have firstly accepted yourself for who you are and what you are, with all your pluses, minuses, your flaws. You have to first love yourself and accept yourself for the way you are, to then be able to go out there and say, you know what, this is who I am and this is what I stand for.
Very true. My last question, homie, and this is the last question. Yeah. Yeah. I have you here for the evening, so you're on my time right now. One of the things that really hit me when I started Empower, and I think all of us at Vogue experienced this, is people saying that, why are you doing this? It's very urban. Vogue is a very urban brand. Isn't this something that is of more relevance in rural India. My question to you all is, as urban professionals, a filmmaker, a corporate, an actress, a journalist, a media person, what can all of us do to support empowerment in a way, big or small? What do you think we can do? Because honestly, the problem, the violation of rights is as prevalent in urban India, probably even more than it is in rural India, and we know that now. What do you think all of us in this room can do to weave the fabric of empowerment?
I think it starts with awareness, which is what this is about. I mean, firstly, we all have to be aware and on the same page. After which you can start, the fact that in a modern society, in urban India, the fact that we are still experiencing this in a workplace, we still have domestic abuse, social inequality, gender inequality. So I think after it's an awareness that needs to be created, and after that, I guess laws have to be put into place and have to be actually followed through with. I mean, that is what the general thing would be to do. But yeah, something else.
Deepika?
Tough. I think it stems from a lot of things, but probably education. Right? So, yeah.
Sangeeta?
I feel that, in India, we all say that this is happening and that is happening, but all over the world there are problems. It's not that only India. I also feel that exposure to the rural areas and in the villages is very, very important, and aspiration. Aspiration is also very important, where there's light, so that a woman gets a prime role.
Yeah.
That is most important.
Great.
Deepika, I was just curious, on a very personal level, what was in it for you? Why did you decide to be part of a video on women's empowerment in India?
I think the generic reasons would obviously be because I think it is the need of the hour. And I don't think we've made this film saying, okay, this is for India. I think, like Priya said, I think we're facing this issue globally. So yes, it comes from creating awareness, and so I thought that it was important that I be a part of this film with whatever little I have achieved today. If I can, by speaking up, if I can make a difference to a few lives, and if it's going to impact a few lives and make a difference, then why not? Also because I believe in the Vogue initiative, not just with this film, but the idea of the entire Vogue empowerment initiative, and the fact that homie, for me it's really he's given me Cocktail, he's given me Finding Fanny. Sorry, I have to bring it back to the films, but I think he sees something in me that I guess I wouldn't say other people don't, but I think he sees me very, very differently. And it was a phone call, and he was like, I think we should do this, and I was on. So it's as simple as that.
May I now request Sangeeta, Deepika, and Homi to please sign the film poster. And I'll also be inviting all the women who are a part of the film to then come on board and sign it as well. That'd be very cool.
क्या कहना चाहेंगे, किस तरह का वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट का वीडियो आपने बनाया?
जी हम जो कर रहे थे, okay, so what we wanted to do was we wanted to show women in a, because today क्या हो रहा है कि they show also the social injustices that are happening with women, oppression against women, but there is also a very strong Indian woman who is an empowered woman, and I wanted to show that across through the net across the globe कि our Indian women are strong and they deserve gender equality. Every woman deserves gender equality, not just an Indian woman. And I think that was what it was about. It was to show that, we wanted to portray that, and it was very organic because we used non-actors, all walks of life, and while the words were being said and they were in front of the camera, it was the first time they were hearing, to un log ko they had to react to that at that point and express themselves and process what they were hearing, and that's how we came about with the idea. Well, that was the pledge we made at that time. So, jab Vogue, when they asked us, what can you do for women's empowerment, what will you do for the initiative, we were just, I think, coming off the film Finding Fanny, and we said, chal, we'll get together and we'll creatively collaborate and do a 2.5-minute piece.
In UK, daily 250 rapes are happening.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about rape in India or Delhi also?
It's not about India or Delhi. I think it is the most disgusting, regressive, and it is pathetic that it is sad that today, in today's day and age, we have to actually start a movement to discuss gender equality. It is so, we are so way back. It's almost like we live in the medieval ages. You know, I mean, recently there was a film out where as soon as you leave NH10, they said that as soon as you leave the city, it's a different world, it's a different system, it's lawlessness, and it's in this space, and it's sad that we are in a situation like that today. But I genuinely feel it is an extreme problem. It is not a small problem. It's an extreme problem. It affects women all over and the world. And sure, bringing throwing light on it, creating awareness of it is one thing, but we have to act upon it, and it's just getting worse and worse. So it's not a matter of.
What are your expectations with government of India on this matter?
I think they are. I mean, it's easy to sit and point a finger and to criticize, but I feel that the movement is happening. There's a social awakening happening. So it's not that the government of India is not interested in trying to resolve the issue and all, but it runs much deeper when you go into rural areas and all. And I think that they are taking steps towards doing it. Plus, on an urban level, we are taking steps to try and create awareness, to educate the thing, fighting for the rights of the girl child. So I think it is all happening, but it's just not happening enough. But it will one day. Hopefully, there will be an equal world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.